I want to say healing the underconfident.
Aww.
Because, like, we were talking about this the other day, that you are a much better drummer than you believe yourself to be. Mm-hmm. You are much better at the computer work and stuff that you think you are. Like, you think that you're just really good at the Google, but there are a lot of people who can't do that.
Yeah.
Like,
no
they
kidding.
require your services.
They would not think of the things that you think about to Google.
Yeah. And so I would call you Keelan the underconfident, because you're much better at the things that you're good at than you think you are.
I agree with that.
So
I'm not confident. I'm not a confident man.
Or we can go nice and say Keelan the humble.
Yes.
There
Keelan
you go.
There you go. The humble.
That's much better.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another round of verses.
Yay!
We got to come up with better names. That's
but versus is so fitting. I mean, that's
yeah.
It fits.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
If
we
you're
could
listening,
call it choose wisely.
Ooh,
that's not bad.
It's not bad.
For those who haven't heard of this before, we use a random person generator. This time around, we will be selecting a person who, with the primary mutual goal of survival, who would you rather be stuck on a deserted island with? So again, it's mutual survival. So it's not just, I want to pick him so I can set him on fire to signal a plane or boat.
So we don't get to choose the big guy because he's going to feed us for longer.
Right.
Or I don't get to pick Kanye West because I would feel no guilt about setting him ablaze.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then I love the idea of, at the end, choosing 3 out of 6 to
make the team
to form a desert survival team.
Gotcha.
So let's do a couple of rounds all together, and then we'll go around individually.
Cool.
So, mutual survival. Oh, sorry. We're off to a great start here. Would you rather have Bob Marley or John the Baptist?
Oh.
Okay. I know. Already, right off the top of my head, John the Baptist, he lived in the wilderness.
Right?
He knows how to live in the
You know what?
wilderness.
He's going to show you
Locust and honey.
He's going to give you his best locust and honey recipe.
And he's got the Lord on his side.
Right. It really comes down to whether you really want to survive or you want to have a good time. I think.
Well, okay. Well, in that case, does Bob Marley does Bob Marley come with his own seeds?
Yeah. Is he bringing his herb with him?
He I'm sure he can identify.
So really what we're choosing here is holiness and survival.
Holiness
versus
or
debauchery.
hedonism.
Yes.
Exactly. No, but I agree with you on the whole John the Baptist point. I think that because of that
He lived in the wilderness.
He lived in the wilderness. Absolutely.
He clothed himself in animal furs. Animals he hunted
He can
himself.
show you how to live.
I feel like he'd probably smell, though.
Probably,
but
but
there's
you know
a great
what?
chance that you're going to smell after a few days in the desert.
Yeah, you're going to go nose blind pretty quick.
I'm sure Bob Marley's got some stink going on.
I was about to
too.
say,
Yeah.
Bob Marley does
He
not
does
smell
not-
like roses.
Most hippies and people that I know that, go that
They
way.
smell like two things.
They don't
Ganja
smell good.
and patchouli.
Yes. They think those things smell good.
Second test round. This one is much more conservative. And I think actually would be a lot harder to choose.
More conservative than John the Baptist.
Well, okay.
Who literally preached, like,
That
turn
was-
from your sinful ways.
Okay. That was sort of the far extreme on both ends.
Okay.
This one's a little
Gotcha.
more middle of the
Little
road.
more middle of the
Okay,
road.
gotcha.
We have John F. Kennedy and Johnny Cash.
Ooh.
I'm going to go with JFK. Or not JFK, Johnny
Johnny
Cash.
Cash.
The immediate opposite popped in my head.
I happen to know
Johnny
that Johnny Cash hunted. And so I think that he would be a good addition because he could find food. And JFK, while being a really good way for us to ensure our freedom and, that we all have the rights that we need on that island, I'm not too sure he would be great for finding food.
And he came from a rich family. So he's probably a little entitled and doesn't know how to do anything.
But he was in the Navy.
He was.
He knows how to. He knows how to use a boat.
He can open a can of beans for sure,
That's true.
and peel a potato.
But
But
I
we're
feel
on a
like
deserted island. There's a great chance we're not going to have any beans or taters.
I feel like for me, having somebody who's not going to be constantly annoyed by my constant singing, and somebody who maybe will just join in with me in the musical that is my life, I think that's big factor.
Yeah.
I do kind of, the more I think about it, I think I'm leaning towards Johnny Cash because I feel like I'd kind of get, I don't know, preached at a lot. Be like, ask not what your island can do for you, but what you can do for your island. All right, let's go to the individual rounds. We start with Laura the Great. Let's go to the wife this time.
All right.
Here we go. We got David Beckham
Okay.
or Christopher Nolan.
Who's Christopher Nolan?
Director. He directed Interstellar. All the Batman movies with Christian Bale.
I don't think we can be friends anymore.
Well, I that's a really tough one because to be perfectly honest, I don't know much about either of those people. I know that David Beckham plays soccer, and now I know that Christopher Nolan directs films. That's about all I know. So I'm going to go with Christopher Nolan because I like the films that he's made, and so he'd probably be the most entertaining. And I really have a feeling that David Beckham would be really full of himself, and I'd really want to vote him off the island really quickly.
I have a counterpoint. You get to look at David Beckham if he's on the island with you. That's entertainment value right there. He's
not,
pretty decent looking.
I'm not into that. Into that.
But he can bend it.
Yeah.
The counter argument I would have had to that is that soccer is the most exhausting activity a person can participate in, followed closely by genocide.
Right. I was going to say genocide.
Being athletic, I'm sure would help a lot in these situations. But either way, your choice. It's probably not a bad. He definitely would have vision.
I'm gonna stick with Christopher Nolan because I think he'd tell me some really good stories around the campfire.
All right, Keelan. Charlie Sheen
Oh my gosh.
or Ellen DeGeneres.
Wow.
You have to survive on an island with one of these two people.
Oh my gosh. And not kill them. That's the key, right?
Yep.
Winning. I think it's a pretty easy choice. I mean, I wouldn't think Ellen would be a very good survivalist, but I think that I could coexist with her way better than I could Charlie Sheen. He is completely off the deep end.
I think she's going to have a better attitude.
Yeah.
Much, much better attitude.
I think, yeah, and also I think too that, like you said, I mean, she might not be that great at it, but I have a really good feeling that she'd be willing to try.
Right. Yeah.
And she'd probably get better.
You guys are missing out on a very important fact here. One of these two people has tiger blood.
Isn't that a snow cone flavor?
Yeah.
I think that if you take Charlie Sheen to a desert island, you're going to have to deal with Charlie Sheen detoxing.
Oh, that's
True story.
You don't want to deal with detox Charlie
You
Sheen.
do not want to deal with detox.
I don't want to deal with any kind of Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, no.
All right, Laura the Great. Who would you rather try to survive on a desert island with? Jay Leno or Adam Sandler?
Oh, you can't see my face, but I'm displeased. I feel like much like the presidential election, I would like to write in the vote of literally anyone else. I've never really found Jay Leno that funny. I find him his voice is annoying to me. Yeah, exactly. I used to like Adam Sandler when I was much, much younger, but now, like in hindsight, he's ridiculous.
I can't stand that.
I think I would probably go with Adam Sandler because he's probably in better physical shape than 70-year-old Jay Leno.
I don't know, though. I kind of think that Jay Leno would have a better work ethic, though. I think that kind of like Ellen DeGeneres, he might not necessarily be good at everything, but he'd try really hard. Yeah. And I feel like Adam Sandler would spend the entire time making really bad jokes about the situation.
Being that Jay Leno owns like 47 cars and has lived a life of luxury for a while, I think his work ethic might be gone.
You know, Leno seems more outdoorsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is, but...
All right, let's see who I have to survive with. Denzel Washington or James Cameron?
Oh.
Okay, James Cameron knows how to adventure.
Yes, he does.
So that's a pretty easy pick.
That's an easy one.
I love the story that he told about how he is in. He was in the submarine going down to look at the Titanic.
Oh,
and he's like, you know, I am thousands of feet underwater in pitch black, just nobody around. and my phone rings, and it's my wife, which, she called. It was very sweet, but it just shows you can never get away. But, I mean, that guy, he knows he's a survivor.
Yeah,
so
he's the easy choice.
yeah, that's an easy choice there. Denzel would be cool to hang out with.
I do think Denzel would be good at it too, though. I mean, I think that as far as like survival goes, I think they'd probably be equally matched.
To me, James Cameron seems like the hands down choice there. So now here comes the hard part, where we got to pick 3 out of 6.
3 out of 6.
Wow. Okay. I just got to say right now, I don't care which 3 we pick. We are dying on this island.
Oh, no.
The six we have to pick 3 from are John Bon Jovi, Hunter S. Thompson, Maya Angelou, Beyonce, John Lennon, and Fidel Castro.
Oh, my God. Okay, well, we know John Bon Jovi is probably a shoo-in.
Yeah, out of this group. And really,
Who was the second one?
Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah, who's that?
He is.
he's a writer.
Yeah, he was sort of the originator of gonzo journalism. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, I think, is based on.
Oh,
Okay.
Either he wrote it or it's based on him or both or something. I forget exactly how it works, but kind of a crazy person, as I think most of these are.
I feel like Maya Angelou, though, would work really hard. Mm-hmm. And I think she would be a good addition.
I think she's getting up there in years, though.
Okay, we've established
Oh, yeah, we
previously
could go get.
Yeah.
time
Because,
machine.
I mean, obviously, John Lennon.
So I think we should go get Fidel Castro before he became like a dictator, because he had some work ethic. He was able to rally troops behind him.
Okay, I think you're right. Here's the argument here. He understands the idea of communal.
I think
effort.
he's a good leader.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got leadership skills.
I think Castro had some good ideas.
Yeah, when you mentioned him, the first thing I thought of is I think I would choose
I think
Castro.
he'd be good.
Despite the fact
He'd be a
that
good addition.
He did some horrible things.
yeah,
He did some horrible things.
I think he would have some good to contribute to the group.
But if we get him like pre-horrible things,
Yeah.
we can turn him to our side, to the ways of good.
Okay, so have we just made our first pick Fidel Castro?
Yes.
Well, I thought did we not agree on John Bon Jovi?
There was no discussion.
No, I don't-
Okay.
Well, he is living on a prayer, and I can get behind that.
Yeah, I understand this, but he's only halfway there. We need to get the whole way there.
Well, we're already starting halfway there. We already got half of the battle won, and
I think he'd be dead weight unless he has a guitar. What good is he really?
he's got hand dexterity.
He can weave.
Just a quick aside. The job that I had after my freshman year of college, actually when Laura and I first started dating, I was doing tech support for the local dial-up internet provider here.
Uh-huh.
And the lady who sort of was the head of that at the time and trained me actually dated Richie Sambora for a while.
Wow.
Yeah. Whoa.
So, and then I found $20.
Hey, my favorite thing from that is that when people would call and complain about the internet being down or being slow, and there was no reason that they would run all their tests and everything. Their go-to line was, well, it's raining between here and there, so the lines are wet.
The lines are wet was the go-to. Right? Anyway, we've derailed.
So John
completely.
Bon Jovi, all in favor?
Only your hand
your
is
hand.
raised.
I feel like he would be a very outdoorsy.
You do?
I do.
I
I
don't.
really do.
Jersey.
He's
There
from-
is no outdoors.
There's a lot of outdoors in Jersey.
I don't think
though.
he's ever
People
gone
in
without a
Jersey
manicure.
Go camping all the time. No,
Are you kidding
no,
me?
he
He is from the city in Jersey.
But
He
you know,
rides a
I feel
motorcycle. That's about
I
it.
feel like, wait a second. I feel like last time we had this conversation, I gave my pick and everybody shot me down. Y'all was shooting me down just to shoot me down.
It's because you make bad choices.
Yeah, pick better.
Do
Really?
better.
So we can do better than John Bon Jovi between
we've already
Maya
picked Fidel
Angelou
Castro.
and John Lennon, and I mean, come on, really.
Look, let's be honest. There are no good choices.
No, there's no good
No.
choices in here. I'm just
Okay.
Well, Fidel Castro was a
Hold
good
on.
If
choice.
Laura gets Fidel Castro, I get John Bon
No,
Jovi.
we all agreed on Fidel Castro.
I feel like it's
except
easier
for
to go
you.
through and eliminate real quick. Beyonce,
Yeah,
no.
There's no way.
Wow, Beyonce's
no
not-
way.
Beyonce.
She's the bottom of my list.
Yeah, she goes in a box to the left.
With everything she owns.
Okay.
Wait
Hunter-
a second, though.
Okay.
If we have Beyonce, then we have Beyonce ransom. People are going to look for her. That might help us get off the island.
I veto Beyonce.
I'm just saying. I'm not voting for Beyonce, but you know.
So what's
That's
you
mine.
change the premise though? I mean, it's
Yeah.
really it's about surviving.
Yeah, it's about survival.
That's
Okay.
that's not a thing.
But she's a survivor. She's not going to give up. She's not going to stop.
Only
She's not
if
gonna-
she's got two other people with
She's
her.
gonna. Can you imagine how much she would complain about being in the woods for 5 seconds?
Yeah.
That's why I don't like Bon
I
Jovi.
just had to add that I knew a Destiny Child song about being a survivor. I'm sorry.
She's not been a survivor for 20 years.
Yeah, she's not been in Destiny's Child for some time.
All right. Hunter S. Thompson is a crazy person.
I don't
and
wanna be on
it
the
would
island
not
with
be
him.
a good time. He's insane.
Okay, so who do we have left? We have,
That leaves Maya Angelou,
Mm-hmm.
John Lennon, and John Bon Jovi.
I think with those options, Bon Jovi's in.
yeah.
So
I-
once you're down to that, I
Right.
do feel. And honestly, I have to make the argument that I don't think John Lennon would be a good choice either. He went all hippie. and
He's too
very,
spacey.
Very peace and love. And
right. That's.
But I
wouldn't
heard
be able
he's
to kill
also
an
a
animal.
violent jerk in his private life, too.
Yeah, well.
So,
well, we don't need that.
But like my earlier argument for Maya Angelou still stands though because
Yeah.
I think
she
she'd
has
be a
good
hard
work
worker.
ethic.
She'd be a hard
And she would be
worker.
an encourager.
And she would be like the mom of the, it's like I feel like every group needs a good, like a mommy figure, and I think she'd be a good mommy figure.
So, as it comes down to it, somehow we have to survive on an island with John Bon Jovi, Maya Angelou, and Fidel Castro.
Well, if nothing else, we'll have lots of music and poetry.
Like, at least one of these people has experience surviving on an island.
he was our first pick.
Yep.
It's true. He governed an island.
Wow, that was rough. That may be the hardest choice we'll ever have to make in our life. So this new story is titled Good Deed Punished. Malcolm Whitfield of Rochester, New York, was only trying to help when he ordered a Lyft car to deliver a drunk woman home from a bar in November. But when the woman vomited in the car, he was hit with a $150 fine to cover the damage.
Oh boy.
He says, for a second, I was like, never do anything nice again. Lyft's terms and conditions include damage fees, which most people don't see in the fine print. Lyft later refunded the fine and added $100 to his Lyft account for future rides. The Lyft spokesperson said that Mr. Whitfield absolutely did the right thing by helping someone get home to safety. So this is the case of somebody trying to do something good, gets kind of screwed over for it, but eventually the company comes around and makes right.
This mistake he made was using his own account. I guess he wanted to pay for it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he paid for it, which was really, really nice.
Yeah, that's standard. I mean, I think that's the same price that for the other service, Uber.
Uber and,
Yeah,
and
we have a friend of ours that drives for Uber, and he said that he likes to get the kids when they're a little tipsy and make a couple of short stops and hoping that they will, because he can clean his car for $10 and he gets 150 for a vomit in this back seat.
Now, he's a thinker.
Yeah.
That is
Right.
that is good strategy right there. I'll tell you, we all recently, I know we've individually seen Bright on Netflix, which is an amazing movie.
So you guys can stop giving me crap about not having seen it.
All right.
But one of the scenes in there I thought was hilarious is when he's hosing down the back seat. You know, it's the idea that it's just this plastic
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how the
Yeah.
back police
stuff.
cars are.
And man, if I was a driver for something like that, I would be really tempted. You know, those old vinyl couch cover things.
Yeah.
You know, get stuff like that on the seats and, you know, plastic stuff and just put it all over the car.
Well,
Shoot,
like,
as a
we had-
parent, I'm tempted to
we
do
had
that.
we had a thing we bought that went with our kids' car seats, that it covered the back of the car. You strapped it up to the little hooks that they have for the car seats to anchor to, and you put it down, and then it had a little weighted piece that you shoved in the middle between the seats, and then it covered all the way down to the floorboard. And like it had a little pocket down there, so it caught all the stuff that fell down. So when I would clean the car out, I just pull that out, dump it out, and then vacuum everything else.
Nice.
That was the best investment I got as a parent. I should get those now and just make my kids sit on them.
I'm going to guess, because this news story here that I read, very brief. I'm going to guess that there was a lengthy period between the time this fine was issued and the time it was refunded. And I'm guessing somewhere in that time, that gentleman spoke to a news station. And that's when everything changed.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing what social media can do for you these days.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I've heard people complaining about issues with some service being down or something and taking it to social media and tweeting about it and how fast they'll get a response because of that.
Well, even recently, I had an experience with the Sims 3. I downloaded it, and the key didn't work because they didn't have enough keys on hand for the sale that they were doing. And I did exactly that. I took to Twitter. I was like, okay, guys, what's going on? And there was other people who followed suit. And, we had this whole Twitter campaign, I guess, going on. And within less than 24 hours, we all had our keys.